Hi everybody, me and Duke here. I hope everybody is having a good evening. I myself am not. I finally went to the dentist and got this tooth pulled. And it's not swollen too awful much. But I'm telling you what, that sucker bled like a stuck hog. When I got home from that dentist, first of all, I got caught in a downpour walking home. It was about a mile and a half, pouring rain. When I got home, I was freezing to death. But when I had blood coming out of the corner of my mouth, it was an exceptionally long root. And he had to dig and dig. He had to go get the jaws of life. No, he had to send his assistant into another room to get something else. I mean, that was just, oh my God. That was a bad experience. And he's a great dentist. I told him beforehand, I said, no, if you hurt me, COVID ain't nothing compared to what I'll do to you, buddy. No, Kevin, I threaten everybody. It's my calling. But he knows that's just my way of blowing off steam. But it was a really bad experience. And I'm starting to really, really get hungry. I really am. But as bad as the pain was, I'm afraid to eat. I ate 2 tablespoons of cottage cheese with, I had to take a 5 milligram Norco. So, I'm not hurting, anymore, but I'm just so exhausted. And I'm going to try to make it not so far in between chapters of listening to the great teacher. Today, I'm doing chapter 6, and it's talking about serving others. Let's see. I'm trying to get the exact title. Is The Great Teacher Served Other People. Okay, on the second page here, it's page 28, it says, well, in the land where they lived, people wore open sandals on their bare feet. So when they walked on the dirt road, their feet got covered with dust. It was a kindness to wash the dusty feet of a person who came to visit. But this time, not one of Jesus' followers offered to wash the feet of others, so Jesus did it himself. By doing this, Jesus taught his followers how important it is, and it is a lesson we today need to learn. And it says, Jesus said, do you understand what I did to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you're right. If I, your teacher and Lord, washed your feet, then you should wash the feet of one another. This is John 13, verses 2 through 14. Okay, when I was baptized at a Seventh-day Adventist church. And I was still relatively new. I had never seen this before. They do it about every 4 months. They have a foot washing ceremony. I walked in, and people were milling around, and this woman with a towel over her shoulder, gal from curtains. This woman had a towel over her shoulder, and she came up to me and smiled and said, can I wash your feet? And I was like, what? I'd never, ever seen this, and I think it's a wonderful, beautiful example of humility and Christian love. Okay, now of course this verse is quoted from the New World Translation, but I've seen it many times before in other Bibles, so it's kind of close. And then it says, here the great teacher showed that he wanted his followers to serve one another. He did not want them to think only about themselves. And I've got this underlined. He did not want them to think that they were so important that others should always serve them. Okay, this reminds me of Samuel Hurd's talk. I heard it myself with my own ears. He said, and I quote, that him and his wife were going to a congregation out of their town, He said, nary an elder or a ministerial servant welcomed us. But when we pulled our car into the parking lot, there were 2 little boys who came and welcomed us and said, Welcome to our congregation, brother and sister Herd. Thank you for coming. Well, first of all, if there was two little girls, he probably would have backed the car over them. But you don't want people to serve you, really? Okay. Like Darrow is always saying, oh, well, they're not our leaders, they just take the lead. That's like saying, my dentist is not a dentist. He fixes people's teeth, but he's not a dentist. It's the same thing. And you know darn good and well they want to be worshipped. Okay? Because they wouldn't call themselves the governing body and the faithful slave, and they do. I mean, I told Darrow in a video, I said, you see them at a convention, Anthony Morris or Samuel Hurd, you see them at a convention and tell them afterward, well, you did good preaching, but you know what you said here, I didn't really agree with that, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take your advice. They always say we encourage. He said, if you said I'm not going to take your advice, so well that goes over for you. You would be disfellowshipped quicker than you could say field service report, and everybody knows that, I think. It also says in Matthew, it talks about do not do your good works or to be seen by men, because verily you have your reward. Do your good deeds in secret, and the Lord will reward you openly. I didn't tell a lot of people this because, you understand. When I first started at the nursing home, I was a volunteer, and I didn't want to be, oh, look at me, I'm such a nice person, because the staff would be like, oh, that's so nice of you coming in. It's like, okay, I'm doing it it actually kind of made me feel bad. I'm doing it because I know what it's like to be in the hospital for 9 months. Get out a hot second, then you're back in for 5. I know what it's like to live. I lived 1993 and 1995 in a wheelchair with an IV in my neck feeding me. I was so weak I could not even stand up and look out the window because I would faint. I mean, one time I fainted and I smacked my face on the stove, and I was unconscious for a little bit. So I know what that feels like to be in that situation. Okay, that's why I did it. Because I promised God in 1995, I said, if you get me out of this life-sucking hellhole in one piece, I swear, I promise you, God, I will do my part to make the world a better place for other people. Okay, so I was just fulfilling that promise. But, people would say, well, where do you work? Well, I work at the Southwest Little Rock Nursing Home. I didn't work. I wasn't on salary, but I wasn't lying because I did work. I just didn't want, I get really sick of people. Oh, that's so sweet of you. What a wonderful person you are. That ain't right to do something for that purpose. It talks about doing good to your family and, helping your family. You have younger brothers and sisters that you can serve. I'm always telling Landon, and this is true. I said, you're the big brother. Cam looks up to you. He's watching you. And it is your responsibility as the big brother to be a good example. Be good to your brother. Just for one thing, one day your mom is going to need her diapers changed, and you're going to want her to live with him. But no, for real, he knew I joked like that. But I tell him, you're the example. He looks up to you, okay? And whether you say it or not, and whether he says it or not, you both love each other, and your parents, your grandparents. My parents abused me. My dad went through his life. He married the loudest most just harpies that, they ran the show. It was just like his mom. He wanted a girl just like the girl that married dear old dad. He married hateful women who were bullies. They had him. He was so, talk about him pecked. He was. But I still have a lot of issues with my parents. I love them dearly, especially my mother. I really have a lot of issues with her, but she is still my mother. Okay, she carried me for 7 months. She's my mom, and no matter what resentment or whatever I feel in my heart, I am not going to abuse my parents. And I'm 52. When they tell me to do something, I do it. My dad, he'll say, well, get that jelly out of the fridge, will you? Or if I'll ask him for, hey, will you hand me the pepper, please? He'll say, what's the magic word? And I'll say, rest home. But no, for real though, I'll, when I'm helping him, taking out the trash or whatever, I'll say, sir, where are your garbage bags? Are they still under the sink? He tells me to do something. I say, yes, sir, and I do it. He's grouchy. He's in pain. He's had like this much of his spine removed. I get it. I know the poor soul is in pain. Okay? And he can sometimes yell at me. Like he'll say, well, get that cup over there. And I'll say, which one? This one? No, that one. And I'm like, hey, Dad. He's actually made me, I'm very sensitive. He's actually made me cry, But I am not going to slap him or raise my voice to him or speak disrespectfully to him. Not going to do it. And the next chapter here goes on along these lines. Chapter 7 is Obedience Protects You. Now, I haven't read it yet, and I'm going to probably read it tomorrow. If anybody, has any comments or has any thoughts on this chapter 6, I'd like to hear it. Hit the like button if you like it. If you don't like it, hit the heck, I don't care. That's up to you. But let me know you're here. I really enjoy getting into dialogue with like Jeff E. Honey, I love your comments. You are just really cool. I enjoy the comments. I enjoy the dialoguing and hearing what other people feel about this. So, I'm going to go ahead and go for tonight. Man, I'm so hungry, but I'm afraid to eat. I'm afraid to eat because as bad as it hurt before. I got my wintergreen lifesavers in here. I've been sucking on them. I'm not chewing. I'm letting them dissolve. So, that helps a little bit, but and I'm trying to get off the pop because there was a lot of erosion. No cavities. 17 months, no cavities. But he said there was a lot of erosion of the enamel on my teeth. And the front teeth, he said it was very obvious. The purging has done some damage. And the pop is very acidic. I drink a lot of pop. I do, way too much. I haven't had any pop since 11 o'clock before I went to the dentist. So, anyway, wish me luck on that, guys, and please pray for me. I would really appreciate it. And by the way, I haven't been purging recently, but stomach acid is like battery acid, and it really erodes. It's all in my front teeth. That's all I needed to hear. I did it myself, but please, again, pray for me as I pray for you all. If you all need anything, any prayer that you want to talk to me about, or you want to just say pray for me, please do so. I'd be more than happy to. Me and Duke are going to go for the evening. We love y'all. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Like and share, and we will talk to you again soon. Say bye, Duke. Say bye. Bye. Have a good evening, guys.